Good morning, YouTube. This is Jamaica 5288. Please like and subscribe. Today, we're going to make an Asian-inspired roast beef. I learned this from a chef in Hawaii years ago. So the first thing I did was I washed off my beef and got most of the blood off. And the water, there's just a little bit of water. I'm going to pour that off, okay? So basically, he taught me to sear the beef in the oven and make sure it's a golden brown, or it's not even a golden brown. It's like a roasted, crispy brown before you put that sauce on it. So I'm gonna tell you the ingredients right now. We have onion powder, black pepper, garlic powder, and salt. For the sauce, and what we're going to do later on is we're going to put some potatoes in there. That's why I have these out. So I'm going to put potatoes in there after it's cooked. Actually, I'll probably put these in a separate, I'll put them in the top when it's almost done, and I'll roast the potatoes off because I don't like soggy, mushy potatoes. I like them to be crispy like French fries on the outside. So for the sauce, back to the sauce, we're going to need garlic, soy sauce, oyster sauce, and sesame oil. So let's get it started. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start seasoning the meat. I've got my oven preheated to 350, okay? So I'm gonna season both sides liberally with this garlic powder. Make sure you get it all over the beef. And I'm going to take some black pepper. I'm going to sprinkle that on. I need you to see it. So let me bring you closer, okay? So I'm gonna take my black pepper and I'm gonna put some on there. Make sure I can see it. You can see I'm not being stingy with the seasoning. The only thing that I am not gonna put a lot of is salt because it dries the beef out. I'm just gonna put a little bit on there, very little. Here's my salt. Because this is Himalayan salt and it's clumpy, I'm gonna use a spoon to put it on. I'm just gonna use a teaspoon, okay? So I'm gonna take my teaspoon and I'm gonna sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. And that's it. Not even a full teaspoon. Rub that in. Last thing is my onion powder. I'm gonna put a little bit of that on. So you know how you see your meats at the grocery store when they season it? You see a bunch of seasoning on. That's what you want to do. You want to get your seasoning on there prior to you put it in the oven, with the exception of the sauce that we're going to make. Oh, and the sauce is going to also require some cornstarch. Okay, so I got my meat seasoned. I'll wash my hands off, okay? And I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it in the oven at 350. Depending on the size of your meat, you want to bring it to an internal temperature of about 140. Beef is fully cooked at 155, and we do not want it to be well done. We want it to have some moisture in it because you didn't see a lot of fat in that meat. So we're going to cook it for about, I'll say 25 minutes. gonna check it and I'll be right back with you. My meat is in the oven and I'm gonna start peeling my potato. I can't find my normal peeler and this thing is not working the way I want it to. Oh God, the cheap one works good. I don't know, maybe this is for cheese because it's not working for me. Anyway, I'm just gonna do the best I can. I'm gonna have to go to Dollar Tree and get the cheap one again if they have any. Everybody keeps buying them up because they work. Uh-oh, and I got myself. Here we go. And I'm putting the potatoes in a pot of water so that they won't turn brown on me. I already have 4 potatoes. I think I'm gonna just do 5. It's not a big roast. Well, if I do 5, I might as well do 6 because that's all the potatoes I have. So I guess I'm doing 6. These are some small potatoes. What is this? Green Giant. All right. I didn't know Green Giant had fresh potatoes. You know what? I can't take it anymore. Let me get a knife before I kill myself. Instead of peeling potatoes and peel my hand. I don't like using a knife because you lose a lot of potato, but safety factor. Cut out all the bad parts. And y'all can see me, right? I hope so. Here we are. We got one more left. Make sure you get off all the skin. Let me get my trash out the way. Put it back in the bag from which it came. So I have my potatoes peeled. I'm gonna use the same knife. This is not necessarily the right knife to do this, but I'm gonna turn them into small cubes. And they're not gonna melt away because they're gonna be roasted separately. So you don't have to worry about them melting into the beef when you do it this way. I'm just cubing them, cutting them into 3s, and depending on the size, I have small potatoes. Depending on the size of your potato, you cut them. And that's the size I'm doing. See that? That's the size, a cube. Surprised I'm dealing with this small my knife as well as I am, because normally I get frustrated and get another knife. me put these in the water before they turn brown. Potatoes brown just like bananas or avocados. They just oxidize if you leave them out. So just put it in some water. And you know, since it's sitting in the water, I'm going to put some salt in there. Just a little bit. Maybe a teaspoon. There you go. That's probably a tablespoon. But there's salt in there now. Make sure the salt gets in there. 2 more left. Man, that's a tough one. If you want to, you ain't gonna cut me. That's good. All right, I tried to get them all the same size so that they would cook at the same consistency or the same time. They'd all be done at the same time. And I'm roasting these in a pan, so I need to make sure some of them don't burn. I'm gonna wipe my board off. And I'm gonna tend to the garlic. I'm gonna use a lot of garlic in this dish. If you've been watching me, you notice that garlic is one of the main ingredients I use in all of my dishes. So, it's good for you. It's good for me. It's good for us. Nobody in here is complaining. So, thank goodness. So here we go. These are small, man. This garlic is getting smaller. I remember when it was huge. I mean the cloves. Because you take one off and then it turns out it's 3 of them in this little thing. Oh, it just made me out of a liar. No, see it breaks up. And then you get a whole bunch of little small ones. There are different types of garlic. I didn't realize that until I was watching another YouTuber and they started talking about the different types of garlic that you can plant. So some of them have big cloves and others have really small ones. Apparently this is one of the small ones. So because this looks like a lot, this is actually about 3 cloves. And that's good enough for me. That's enough garlic for this dish. You get a bigger knife. And I'm gonna smash it. I'm just gonna smash them all this time. Get all those shells off at the same time. If you haven't watched it, this is your first video you're watching with me. That's how you get the shells off really quick by smashing the garlic. You don't want to, you know, pulverize it. Just take your forearm and hit it really light. And it'll crack open like a peanut. So here's my small dish. I'm taking my shells. Let's see, the shells come off real easy. Really easy. And see, there's another one. It broke down, that little one, it broke down into 3 of them. So I'll put that to the side. I gotta smash it again. So I have 1 piece of garlic that is shelled. Here it is again. So when you crack it, the shell just comes off. Simple, simple, simple. Just like that. See that? Just, it comes off like a piece of paper. Yep. Saves you time and aggravation. Fighting with it and trying to get it off. These 3 little ones, jeez. I don't know. So it's light, it's stuck to the knife. All right, there you go. Get all these little papers up. You can eat the skin, but I don't necessarily want to eat the skin. Oh man, that broke down into a whole little bunch of little ones. Next time I pick out garlic, I'll make sure I get ones with big cloves on it, or try to. This one was disguised as big cloves. Disguised. And here we are. It's a little itty bitty one. Giving me the business. There it is. Okay, I got all my stuff put up. Get all my paper in my bag. Get this axe murder out of here. I cut my finger. Oh, I cut my nail. Not my finger. Lesson learned. Go get the cheap one. Here we go. You see me picking off the ends, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm throwing the end of the garlic in the bag. So when I get down to this part, the end of the garlic, where the root is, I throw that in the bag. I don't want that. And what we're doing is we're mincing the garlic, making it fine. This is one of those dishes where you want the garlic. The more you chop garlic, the stronger the taste is going to be in the dish. Might be spending there 30 minutes, or 25 minutes. Let me get a pot holder. Okay, already. Stop. And it's not done. Take it off of bake and I'm gonna put it on broil low because I need a sear. Or boil high. Start. And I'm gonna put it in there for, I don't know, 8 minutes. Let's see what that does. I need a crust to form on that beef. And then I'll cook it. Back to chopping the garlic. See how I hold my knife? I put one hand on top of it. So let me get that off. And if you're not used to a knife, don't do what I just did because you'll slice your hand. This knife is not very sharp. So I put it in a pile, right? And I take one hand on top, on the dull end of the knife. If you have a knife that's sharp on both ends, don't do it. But if it's dull on one end, like mine is, you just take it and you take your hand. One hand is holding down the tip of the blade, and you're just moving it around like a protractor. Makes it real easy. Okay, I'm gonna let you take a look at my knife, show you what they look like, how small you need to get it. See that? Small. And this is a small knife, it's not a big knife. Really small pieces. Really small pieces. That's the tip of my finger. See that? Okay, we're gonna put that in a little dish. So I'm gonna get the sauce together. I'm gonna get a bowl after I scrape up all my garlic. I get a bowl and start combining the flavors. Okay. All the garlic's in my dish. Let me get a small bowl. Okay. I'll get one so you can see one of the whites. And it's Asian. Well, it has an Asian pattern on it. I don't think it's from Asia. Who made this? It doesn't say. Okay, we have our bowl here, right? And I want you to look in it. So, first thing I'm gonna put in is my soy sauce. And I'm gonna do this by taste. So the first thing I'm gonna put in is about a half a cup of soy sauce. There we are. Soy sauce done. A teaspoon of sesame seed oil. boy, I'm having. Let me wipe my hands off. I got soy sauce all over it. I gotta open that bottle. Let me see if I have one open already. I may have one open. As luck would have it, nothing. It's not there. So, wipe my hand off. There we are. Opened up really easy. Thank goodness. I'm gonna put a 1/4 cup of oyster sauce in there. Oyster sauce is giving me the business. It's like ketchup. Come on. Slowly coming out. Okay. Get my spoon, spoon that in. I may put some sugar in here. It'd be bad today. I did that to my family at a family reunion with some chicken, and everybody was like, oh my God, it's so good. And I was like, I hope nobody in here is a diabetic, because I put a bag of sugar in that bad boy. They all laughed, but you know, buyer beware. Sometimes when stuff tastes really good, it's not actually good for you. So I'm mixing this up. I'll take my knife, clean that thing off. Get all my dishes that are used away from me. Unless I need them again, so I'm gonna leave the tablespoon and the cups next to me. All right, let's see here. Take it, drip it in my hand. Taste it. Strong. I'm gonna put some sugar in it. I'll be right back. So my timer just went off for the beef. Turn that off. Let's look at it. See if it's doing what it's supposed to do. Give it what it's supposed to give. Looks good, but no cigar. Put it back on. Keep it on high broil for another 10 minutes. Okay, I mixed my sauce together, and here's the sugar. I don't know where the white sugar is, so I'm just going to go ahead and use brown. Kill me, you know. Charge me. I'm guilty. Put a tablespoon of sugar in there and see what happens. Let's see what happens. 2 tablespoons. It's a good day, you know. I deserve some sugar. Let's see. Mix that up. Make sure that the sugar is in there. Now, once we get this to the consistency or to the taste that I feel like I want, and of course it's going to be a little strong, but we're going to put some water and some cornstarch in here to thicken and lighten the sauce. So it's not going to be that you know, see how thick it is right now? It's not going to be that thick. Well, it will be with the cornstarch, but it won't be as strong. The water is going to dilute it. So sugar has a way of incorporating flavors. That's one of the good things about sugar. The bad thing is, if you're diabetic, you shouldn't be eating that much sugar. That's better. I'll put this up. Get my cornstarch out. Get about a cup of water. I'm gonna use my measuring cup again. And about a cup of water. Two half cups. Cornstarch. I don't like mess. Let me open this over the sink. And I'm going to put a teaspoon of cornstarch in here. See how it looks. Cornstarch doesn't show up until it reduces, so remember that. You just want to make sure this thing is mixed in. Let me put this up. All right. Oh, boy. Keep on moving, don't stop, no. Do I have it all mixed? Don't want any clumps of cornstarch. Got to be careful. Gotta be careful. Do a taste test. Drip in your hand, lick your palm. What it needs is some pepper. So instead of putting cayenne pepper in there, today I want to see it. So where did I put this thing? It's been a while. This thing is in the backpack of the cabinet. But I know it's here. I know it's here. I just have to pull everything out because it's hiding from me. It's like, you know, I pulled everything out and it was right in front of me. So I'm going to put some crushed pepper flakes in there. Let's do a tablespoon. We need some heat in this bad boy. Some heat. If you don't like pepper, don't do this. Put a tablespoon of heat in there. Crushed pepper. That's more like it. More like it. I could have used, you could use sriracha also. Sriracha probably would go along with the Asian thing more, but I'm doing what I want to do today. Nobody's here to supervise me. That's what they get for all disappearing today. You don't get to watch. Don't put that in there. That's going to be too hot. Nope, too late. It'll be fine. It'll be just fine. I mixed it all together, and I'm going to do another taste test, all right? That's good. I could taste the sugar bringing the flavors together. The garlic is infusing. I did this early on because it takes a while for the garlic to show up in the taste. I got a little bit of garlic left in here. It takes a while for the garlic to infuse into the sauce, so that's why I did it early, because I'm gonna let it sit for a little while. It's not gonna go bad because it has soy sauce and all that stuff in it. Next thing we need to do is put our potatoes in the oven. With its partner, the beef. So I'm gonna drain off these potatoes and I'll be right back. The alarm for my beef went off just a second ago. I can smell it now, so that's a good thing. I can smell it. So let me bring you over here and let you see what it looks like. I changed it from broil back to bake. So here's what it looks like. You need it to be seared like that. Seared off. I changed the oven back to 350. You can see that. But you see how the beef is browned? That's what you want. Okay, let me take you back over to the corner. Back over to the overview. All right, I know I can't sing. All right, so we're gonna take our sauce. No. Let me close this oven back up. Yeah, we're gonna take our sauce and we're gonna put that over the beef. So what we do is we just pour it over. Still uncovered. No cover. Put it back in the oven. Turn it this way. That's back in the oven. I got my potatoes and I have strained them off, okay? Let me take this bowl and throw it in the sink to the pile of dishes that are piling up. All right, here we are. We have this. I don't think this dish is big enough. I'm going to get a bigger one. You don't want your potatoes to be all close together. You don't want them close together, and I don't know if I have a roasting pan big enough. I don't think so. Might have to make that work. All right, so let me get some olive oil, and I'm gonna get some butter. You don't have to use the butter. That's just me being me. I'm gonna use some butter because I like the taste of butter in the food. So we're going to take our potatoes that have drained, put them in the pan. So they're in the pan. Then take your olive oil. You're going to put it on the potatoes and coat them with olive oil. These are basically oven fried potatoes. And normally I don't want them to touch, but this is just gonna have to work. We don't want them to steam, so we need to spread them out a little bit. Put some butter in there. Just taking a half a pat of butter. Get knife. Get a knife and be proper with it. Try to be rustic and chop it with my bare hands. Okay, I'm spreading them out as much as I possibly can in this dish. Wash my hands. Not gonna put any more salt on there, none. Not a drop of more salt. Just the salt was already in the water when I put salt in the water when I was trying to preserve them from turning brown. So we're just gonna bake them. Put them in the oven with the beef in a separate pan, of course. Don't put them together unless you like steamed potatoes, because that's what's gonna happen. Put my butter up and I'll be back when well, I gotta set alarm. Let me give it about 20 minutes. No, I'm gonna give it 15 minutes. There we go. And I'll be back. The alarm went off again. I'm gonna check the internal temperature of the beef. I have my thermometer right here. Right here. The little cheap one. Doesn't matter. As long as you have one. Some people just go according to how it looks. I don't know. Since I went to school, I just started doing what they do, and they check the temperature, so I started doing it. You know, I gotta be fancy dancy just like them. Pull it out. Let me bring you closer. So let's check the internal temperature. You see it looks good, doesn't it? Looking at it, it's going up. I think I'm gonna pull it out. I may have to reduce the stove, the sauce on the oven. But I do not want to overcook this beef. There's not a lot of fat in there. I know it's not cooked because I see blood on the top. So beef does not, as long as it's not grounded beef, it doesn't have to be fully cooked. But if it's ground beef, never eat a raw hamburger. You might kill yourself. I mean, it's very dangerous to eat a raw hamburger. But if it's a solid piece of meat, it does not have to be fully cooked. It could be medium rare, just like people like their steaks. Same principle here. So I'm at 120 right now. Let me see if it goes up some more. Looks like it's just gonna stop at 120. So I'm gonna put it back in, but I'm gonna let go. Let go. I'm gonna put some of the sauce over the top. Let's see how the sauce is reducing. Doesn't that look good? That's some brown sauce right there. Oh my God. So I'm gonna put it back in. But this time, I've cut up, I had some carrots that look lonely in there, some bell pepper, green and red bell pepper. There's no hot pepper in here. I just want some color. I need color in my food. The bell pepper is gonna add some taste. The carrots, I don't want those completely cooked. And because this beef is almost completely done, I'm not too worried about the carrots being overcooked. So I'll make sure that gets into the sauce. I'm gonna increase my temperature to 400. And I'm gonna cover it this time. And I'm gonna put it back in the oven. Oh, I don't know if this can fit. I don't think this lid can fit in that oven. You know, I changed my oven out because I wanted a fancy dancy one, and now I realize there are shortcomings with that. I'm gonna have to adjust. Then I have to use foil paper. Foil paper is not good for you. They say it causes Alzheimer's, but you know, this time it's not touching the meat. So I'll make an exception. I'm trying. I don't think I can live without it though. You'll probably see another recipe with some foil paper touching the meat. So buyer beware. Foil paper is not good for you. If you don't have to use it, do not use it. Okay. Here we are. I got that on there. Potatoes are still in the oven. Now I want it to steam. And I'll wash this off. I'll be right back. I'm gonna set that for 10 minutes. 10 more minutes. See you soon. I'll see you soon. So it's been around 10 to 15 minutes. And let's check our beef. Our potatoes are cooking. I need them to brown, so I'm gonna broil them after I pull this beef out because I think this thing is done, 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 done. Before I change the temperature though, I'm gonna check. Open my little package up carefully so I don't burn myself. All right, here we go. Ooh, that looks good. Jesus, Luis. Jeez. Let me not use the Lord's name in vain. I apologize, God. Look at that. Let me move it closer so you can see. Turn this light on. The onions and the carrots and the bell pepper set it off. I'm not the onions. I didn't use any onions. It set it off, man. It set it off. Move this out of the way. Check the internal temperature. I know it's done now. I can tell by the way it feels. The way it feels. Ooh, sometimes I get a good feeling. Yeah. Let me stop. Look at me. I always get my shirt wet. I was washing the dishes while I was waiting, so I wouldn't have a big mess at the end. Hey, 130 is good for me. 155 is completely done. 130 is like medium rare. It's about 131. Let me see if it goes up a little bit more. Patience. No, it's about 131. Now if I can get the thermometer out, I'm gonna let the beef rest. Put my lid on, let it rest on top of the stove, and then I'm gonna change this to broil, high, start. I want those potatoes to be brown, and right now they're beige, so that's not a good thing. Put them in the center of the oven since they have room to spread out now. They don't have to be on one side. No, no, no. And let's look. I'm gonna let you look at them because they should be done. I just want them to brown. This is what they look like, right? I'm gonna take a fork and stick it and see if it's done. I need them crispy. Yeah, they're done. See that? They're done. Yeah. Let's get them browner. And this is like a 1-pot meal. 2-pot/1-pot meal, because I'm gonna take these potatoes and I'm gonna put it in with the beef. That's why I didn't season the potatoes, because this potatoes is gonna suck up some of that sauce. And after I finish and plate, oh my God, y'all are gonna be, I'm sorry, meaning potatoes. Y'all are gonna be so happy if you do this. I'm gonna do about 7 minutes on those potatoes on high broil. And you have to check them. Be careful, because they'll burn. So I'll be back in about 7 minutes, okay? And here we go. The timer went off. Open the oven, see if the potatoes are done. Do I still see it? No, it's not bubbling anymore. It's just my imagination. It was just my imagination running away with me. Here's our potatoes. Woohoo! They look good. This girl can cook. I tell you that. This girl can cook. turn this oven off. And I'm gonna open this back up. It smells really good. Put this down, make sure I don't break it. I should put it on the towel. You get a spoon or a spatula. I think I'll get a spoon. Where's my spoon? Na 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 na. Some people know what that song is. All right, here we go. Get these up off of this pan. Oh, they sticking. No matter how much oil you use, some things just don't want to cooperate. Put this in with my beef. I'm gonna leave some out so I can plate, make it really pretty for you guys, okay? I'll see you in a second. Let's look at this beef. Let's take a good look at everything, okay? Because Jamaica, I can. There we are. My big old hand was in the way. Here's my potatoes. And there's the star of the show. It's a one-pot meal. Baking the potatoes separately, I think it makes it taste better because they're not as soggy. You know, if I had more room, they wouldn't be as soggy as they are right now. But they're good. They're roasted potatoes, and all of it is in one pot. And it tastes like, kind of like pepper steak. So I'll see you when I plate. As soon as I get my hand out your face. And there you have it. Asian-inspired roast beef. Isn't that beautiful? Note that the sauce is a little thin. If you want your sauce thicker, just put it on the stovetop and reduce it. I like it like that. You may not. Let's get a good look. A good look. There we are. Isn't that beautiful? And I tasted it, and it is off the chain. It is off the hook. AKA, it is delicious. Not cut into the beef because I need it to rest. It's still hot. That's another thing. Wait 10 to 15 minutes before you go into your beef or it'll bleed out on you and become dry. Perfect. Perfect. All right, y'all. This is Jamaica 5288. Hope you enjoyed this segment. Asian-inspired roast beef. And I promise you, this puts a new twist on roast beef, and it's not only a new twist, it's a better twist. I was so appreciative when the chef showed me this in Hawaii. I was stationed there when I was in the military, and he cooked at one of the hotels. And he was like, no, don't do it that way. That way is so-so. And I was like, oh, okay. He showed me how to do it, and I want to thank you, Ben. Hey, if you're seeing this, say hello, aloha. And this is Jamaica 5288. This is Asian-inspired roast beef. And I'll see you on the next one, all right? Remember, take care of yourself and take care of each other. Bye.